السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So the next surah in the Tafseer series, lesson number 21, is Surah ashShams, the sun. As we look at Juz Amma, the last whole section of the Quran, as is split into 30 parts, the last section. وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا. I swear by the sun and by its brightness, by that day that comes, that duha time. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is again swearing and taking oath by something of great importance, and that is a great blessing of the sun. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to do 6 more, so 7 in total. وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا. And by the moon as it follows it, as she follows the sun. So this is now that orbiting, as the sun goes around its orbit. Allah has created the sun, moon to go around its orbit. And as you may be aware, yesterday we had the great conjunction, mention of that Saturn and Jupiter. First time you can see them together, quite close together in the sky. So we tried to go. I went with my boys, and it was raining, so you could see that if there's rain, there's clouds, and if there's clouds, then visibility will be quite low. So we couldn't see it, so we did what we normally do if it rains, make lemonade. We tried something else. We did something else indoors. So yeah, we couldn't see that great conjunction. I'm sure people did, and that is again the signs of Allah, this whole creation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done, and this benefit of the moon, the sun. وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا جَلَّاهَا. And by the day, and as it shows up the sun's brightness, so the day now allows you to see the sun and its beauty and how it lights up everything, and you can see everything during the day. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَاهَا. And by the night as it conceals the sun. So and by the night, and how it just makes everything dark and everything, you're able to rest yourself, you're able to get re-energized for the next day, for that toil the next day, that as we go through life, as we know what it is. وَالسَّمَاءِ وَمَا بَنَاهَا. And by the sky and the one who built it, and that is again the sky, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that gives us our rizq, the rain that comes from it and is produced from it, and then the crops that grow from it, and then we can eat, and it's a sustenance. وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا طَحَاهَا. And by the earth and the one who spread it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how He spread the earth, has made mountains and all sorts. Mountains are pegs that keep the whole earth firm, and when Allah wants, with His permission, it moves, and you have earthquakes and so on and so forth. Everything, all this plate tectonics and everything, all this from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how they all work, with science, everything, how it works. وَالنَّفْسِ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا. And by the soul and the one who perfected it. So nafs, this is the last one that comes in from these 7 things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is showing us all these great blessings. He's making us focus on those things again that we keep forgetting. We don't even think and ponder about things as it is anyway. So here, these are the great things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, and it's a great blessing for us, and it benefits us in so many ways. And this also shows of Allah's qudra, His power. He has created all these things. It's not, like I mentioned, you have a canvas. When you start drawing something, you draw a picture of this and a picture of that. That person's created that thing, so otherwise it's not going to come, and it's never going to be on that canvas as a painter then puts it on. So He's the creator of that. Just like that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this whole earth, and He's made everything, and everything works according to science. Everything works according to its way, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala set it, and it benefits us. He's created this for us as humans and the jinn kind, for worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these are the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is referring to back to make us remind ourselves of our Creator and connect to Him. So when we say nafs now, this is one of the things, our soul, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. He's created things that once He's created it, that's it. He will never destroy it. Like He has the lawh al-mahfuz, the preserved tablet, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written every single thing. That will always remain, and will never be. Once He's brought it into existence, it will continue to remain, just like the throne, the arsh of Allah, as well as the pen that writes all this. And then we have the ruh. So our body, our body is going to stay in this earth, in this temporal life, but however our our spirit will go on to the next, and into the hereafter, and that's going to be for eternity. So that's where then we have the abodes, the final destination of Jannah, paradise, or Jahannam, the fire. So may Allah protect us from the fire and grant us Jannah. We ask for that always. So nafs is that thing that Allah has created, and it's not going to be destroyed. So we need to make sure we prepare it well, and we do not fall into vices and wrongdoings and sins, and we try and always stay on the right path. وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا. So by the soul and the one who perfected it. فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. Then he showed it what is right for it and what is wrong. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I mentioned it, that nafs, we have nafs ammaratun bisu, the one that's totally driven by in evil. It's just it just drives it to evil, like the one that just overcome by evil. We have the nafs that is the mutma'inna, that the ones who are in that peaceful kind of soul, and the ones who who take that delight from reading the Quran, sitting the dhikr, the gatherings of dhikr of the Quran, of gatherings where the Prophet ﷺ and Islam and Allah SWT is mentioned, and gaining in knowledge, these places of knowledge as well, and places of spiritual gatherings, where angels are running and writing down, and they want to participate, and they go and just sit in these kind of gatherings and they search for them. So then the nafs al-lawwama, the one that it is the one that conscious, that tells us that this is not right, something that we're doing is not right. So it tells us that and we have that feeling that what, it doesn't feel right, this thing. So those are the nafs. So Allah subhanahu has shown it. We know what is right and wrong. So we have that. So the Prophet ﷺ, he's made a dua, a beautiful dua. Allahumma ati nafsi taqwaha wa zakkiha. Anta khayru man zakkaha, anta waliyuha wa mawlaha. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the Prophet ﷺ has said, and he supplicated to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that make my soul obedient and purified, and make it as you are the best of the ones who purify it, and you are the guardian of it, and you are the Lord of it. So we ask Allah to make our souls, to make it purified, and to make it obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. Indeed, he succeeds who purifies his own self. وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. And indeed, he who fails, who corrupts his own self. So we have that ability to purify, to make it obedient in ta'ah and in obedience, or we have that ability to make it spoilt and corrupt, and in ma'asiyah, in sins, in crimes, in wrongdoings. So kufr, that's the ma'asiyah, that's all the we can fall into kufr, that disbelief with that, or we can fall into iman and into ta'ah, obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and not earn his wrath or anger, but his pleasure. كَذَّبَتْ ثَمُودُ بِطَغْوَاهَا. So this surah, the people of Thamud denied the truth because of their transgression. كَذَّبَتْ ثَمُودُ. So Thamud was the people of Salih alayhi salam. Prophet Salih, the Arab prophet, he was sent to the people of Thamud, and they transgressed. And this is the story of the she-camel. But yeah, so this whole surah has mentions of the soul. We just mentioned nafs, and it also has mention of the transgressions and the result of those who transgress. What is the outcome? And that is now told in the last few verses in the story of Prophet Salih alayhi salam. So they were from the Arab tribes. He was Arab prophets, and to those people, they were rich, they were given everything, just like their fellow other tribe, which is the Ad people, where Prophet Hud alayhi salam went to. So they had everything. Allah subhanahu blessed with them with riches and all sorts. However, Prophet Salih would call them to worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They asked for a sign one day, and this was that they wanted to see a camel come out of a rock. So this is on demand. They're demanding, that a camel come out of a rock. And obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has miracles, mu'ajiza to his prophets to prove that they are prophets. So he was able to make a camel, a she-camel, come out of a rock. They saw that, and again, this happened. They demanded it, and they really requested it. It happened, and they still go further into their disbelief. It does not make them change and become into iman. And because they saw it with their eyes, isn't it like seeing is believing, as in today's world as well? People they believe in science because they see it, so they believe it. So that's one thing. These stories from the prophets where we mentioned that when they've requested a sign, and if Allah has made it happen, and they still disbelieve. At the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there's many incidents like the splitting of the moon. Then know that even today, if you were to guide people, and we were to speak to people, and they keep saying seeing is believing, even if a miracle came like as such that they demanded it, and that same thing actually happened, what they requested, they still wouldn't believe. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the guidance is with Him alone. We try our best, we call people, we show through our etiquettes and following the Prophet ﷺ in his etiquettes and manners and conduct. They can see the beauty of Islam. If you have knowledge, we speak about it, so they know that Islam is a religion that takes you away from all this darkness, and takes you away from all sorrow and everything. It has what's going to happen in the future. Islam tells us everything. There's nothing uncovered, so we know what's going to happen. So these people, they just that's it. They think they die and then that's it. This end of story. However, it's not the case. So guidance is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So كَذَّبَ ثَمُودُ بِتَغْوَاهَا. So Thamud people, they denied the truth because of their transgression. And what was that transgression? They killed the actual camel as well. إِذَا بَعَثَ أَشْقَاهَا. When rose up one who was the most wretched of them. So one of them who went to kill then the she-camel, because they were warned not to kill the camel, not to touch the camel, because it also had a child, had a baby as well, and they harmed them both. So one of them was the most wretched. His punishment, would be severe for what he did and performed. فَقَالَ لَهُمْ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ نَاقَةَ اللَّهِ وَسُقْيَاهَا. So the Messenger of Allah said to them, be careful of Allah's she-camel. So that she-camel is attributed to Allah. It's Allah's she-camel. نَاقَةُ اللَّهِ وَسُقْيَاهَا. And her right to drink. So there was in place that one day the people can go and take water to drink, and one day leave it for the camel to drink, and because they benefit from its milk as it is anyway. However, for whatever reason, they got greedy and they wanted to just have it all to themselves. They killed the camel as they saw it as an obstacle. So this is then the punishment. That's when the punishment comes. فَكَذَّبُوهُ فَأَقَرُوهَا فَدَمْدَمَ عَلَيْهِمْ رَبُّهُمْ بِذَنْبِهِمْ فَسَوَّاهَا. Then they denied it and they killed it, so their Lord destroyed them because of their sin and made them equal in destruction. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is how the result is of those who disbelieve. After even sending prophets and after showing the proofs and showing the signs and miracles, and still they don't believe, then when the time is up, the time is up. And then that's it, the punishment of Allah comes. But however, the Prophet ﷺ, the beloved of Allah, the punishment for these people is more delayed. For our people, it's more delayed. We are such sinners as well. There's a whole nation, and there's people living on the earth. Now we have about 7 billion people. So this, the punishment hasn't come in a sense, but that is how Allah's left it. That He's gonna have that forbearance with this last generation, the first to enter Jannah. So this is that great honor for the Prophet ﷺ, that his people we won't be punished just like how the other people were, and really early on as well. So we have the last verse, وَلَا يَخَافُ عُقْبَاهَا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has no fear of his consequence. He does not fear because he destroyed the people. What is the consequence of that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not has any fear of that. Just like the Banu Israel of Prophet Musa Islam, they would say they're the special, they're the chosen ones, and God was angry with them, and Allah was sad with them, and He was sorry for them. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not have all these kind of attributes of negative attributes that different religions would attribute to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is free from all that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the perfect and the of infinite goodness. So, as it comes in the ayah in the Quran, لا يسأل عما يفعل وهم يسألون, that he will not be questioned, but they will be questioned. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not the one who can be questioned. Who's going to question Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? No, He's the one who's going to question us. We will be the ones who will be questioned. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is able to do all sorts, and He's able to do whatever He wants. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم.